AITA for going off on my friend for getting mad at me because I won't hang out with his cheater girlfriend. Posted by ChickenWingPriest. I was asked by a friend of mine to stop by his place and grab some stuff one day a few months ago since I had a spare key. Nobody was supposed to be there since his girlfriend works at that time, but when I got there, her car and a truck I didn't recognize were in the driveway. Immediately assumed the worst and was right. Took a few pictures of the truck and car in the driveway, then went in to confront her, and she was half naked on the couch with another guy. Snapped a few pics and left before she could get dressed and chase me down. Immediately called my friend and let him know what I saw. Met up and showed him the pictures. He was heartbroken, but said he'd started to suspect things a few weeks prior, so he wasn't too surprised. He confronts her, and she gives the usual cheater BS. It was a mistake, only happened once. I love you, he meant nothing. However, she couldn't keep up the lie and was forced to admit she'd done it with another guy a few months previously, and that same guy I caught here with the night before when she was staying late at work, but was actually at her side piece's house. He broke up with her and kicked her out of his place. Seemed to be doing better until a couple weeks later, he gets lonely and takes her back. Now they're together again, and I've stopped hanging out when she's around, so I don't see him as much anymore. We had the following exchange when we met up for lunch, and I'm wondering if I was too harsh. This isn't word for word, but it's the best I can pull from memory. Him: why don't you come over anymore? We barely hang out. Me: you know why. I'm not hanging out with or around your girl. She's a cheater, and I don't hang out with cheaters. Also, she fucking hates me because I'm the one that caught her stepping out on you. Remember? Him: she doesn't hate you. I forgave her. It's fine. So just come over tonight and we can hang out. She wants you over there too. Me: not happening. I hope you're happy with her, but I think she's trash and I'd rather sit in a room by myself than pretend she's not a total piece of shit just so you can act like everything is okay. Him: why the hell do you care? She didn't cheat on you. He was getting visibly worked up at this point, and I was probably looking about the same. Me: look, if you want to sweep this shit under the rug and keep pretending things are fine while she figures out how to get some side dick again without getting caught, that's your choice. But I can never pretend that I didn't walk in on her half naked with another man, and I can't pretend that you aren't an idiot for taking her back when she obviously is going to cheat again and has no respect for you. Hell, I have less respect for you for taking her back. We sat in angry silence for a minute before I left, and since then it's been mostly quiet. Got a text asking if I really think she's a horrible person, and I replied, yes, she's a horrible person. I hate her and hope one day you're smart enough to leave her, but until then I'll be keeping my distance from you as well. And that's been about it. A few of our mutual friends hung out with them recently, and they say it's super awkward. My friend tries to get them to interact with her, but they also don't like her. They're just too polite to say anything to his face about it. So getting to the judgment I need. Have I been too harsh here? Was I an asshole for snapping at him like that after everything that happened? Should I have just played nice and just made excuses not to hang out instead? Willing Confusion 33 comments. NTA: cheaters are disgusting, and frankly, I'd be the same. If he wants to forgive her, that's fine, but you don't have to. You don't have to hang around anyone you don't want to hang around with, and nobody can tell you or not tell you who you to be around. Artistic License comments. I can't imagine having a good time being fake for several hours. It's sad for him, and perhaps they really have made some genuine changes, but that's between them, and you don't have to be okay with things just because he is. How's your friendship going to look in the future? Hanging out when she's not around and never talking about her? Also, I have learned that sometimes you have to watch people be stupid for a long time and just be there when they figure it out. Because I was stupid for a long time, and thankfully my friends were there when I figured it out. While I was in it, nothing they said helped. Now I see I was being a very stupid person. Butterscotch Little 65 comments. NTA: he directly involved you in her cheating. Not necessarily by his choice, but he did say he suspected something before he had you go to his house. All you can do is be there for him when he finally pops his head out of his own ass and dumps her. Just a commenter comments, NTA, you tried being polite, he wasn't going for it. You tried twice where you were at least reasonably mild and he kept pushing. At that point, if you have to be harsh to get your point across, that's on him. Prudy Skirida comments, NTA, in my place, I'd have gone further and pointed out that my respect for him was dropping off every time his cuck ass reminded you that he took her back or they're together.
Update. A month ago, I came here to get some perspective on a potential falling out with a friend of mine over him taking back his girlfriend after I caught her cheating on him and she admitted to doing it multiple times. I stopped hanging out with him after we got into an argument over me not wanting to hang out with his cheater girlfriend. Things played out almost exactly how I figured they would, and I'm feeling pretty validated in my disdain for his now ex. After our fight, my friend and I barely spoke to each other outside of a few texts. Then I got a call from him yesterday letting me know he kicked her out. He told me he'd only taken her back after several weeks of her begging and promising to do whatever it took to win his trust back. One of the conditions of him taking her back was full access to her phone, laptop, and game console without complaint. He said at first she was happy to comply, but after a few weeks, he noticed her acting suspicious, and when he went to check her phone, she'd changed the passcode from the one they'd agreed on for him to get in. When confronted, she started screaming at him and telling him she'd done enough to prove herself, so he needs to back off. He immediately dumped her and kicked her out. Said she immediately backtracked and tried to hand her phone over when she realized he was serious, but the damage was done. Said he was almost relieved she acted like this because it made the decision easier. I came over and helped him move all her stuff into boxes for her to pick up. I wasn't there when she came to get everything, but his sister was there and had to get between them because his ex kept trying to kiss him one last time while awkwardly dragging boxes of her stuff out to her car. I'm sad I didn't get to be there. Apparently she ugly cried most of the time. I'm gonna head over to his place after work to drink and play video games to get his mind off things. He's a dumbass, but I think he's finally learned his lesson about her. I just hope his next girl is loyal and doesn't talk so goddamn much during movies. NTA, you shouldn't be forced to hang out with people you don't like or respect, and I'm glad he finally has the blinders off. You sound like a good friend who was watching his back, but sometimes people in love or lust are really dumb, and you just have to be there to pick up the pieces. But the fact that she talks during movies would have been a deal breaker. That's just wrong. If there weren't explosions and fight scenes on the screen, she'd immediately get bored and try and talk to people about random stuff. It was so bizarre. She'd even do it with movies she picked. NTA, it's too hard to look her in the face while she's destroying your friend. He came back and he knows you're a good friend. More importantly, he knows he's a dumbass, but he's a lovable dumbass. Yeah, you are great a friend, but do not celebrate too soon. Your friend is the typical spineless simp. Doormats will be doormats and pushovers will be pushovers. Sound harsh and people here will pull some hairs over it, but you have to make him remember this always. Once a cheater, always a cheater, and no amount of begging and promises will change the fact that somebody betrayed, backstabbed, and cheated on you. Why take that shit of a person back? I don't understand, but well, I will not be anything. You were a good friend, but your friend acted like an idiot and had some luck things didn't escalate in just looking for problems that he should have avoided from the start. And he might not be off the hook yet. This unhinged ex will strike back hard. Be prepared for the typical pregnancy scare or even worse.